Getting older and dating can be really, really hard. And I'm going to be reading a comment that I received from one of my viewers about exactly that, the struggles that she's having with finding someone and also maintaining a relationship. So stay tuned. Now, on to the comment that we wanted to talk about today. How do you handle being over 60? You have ailments as a woman, on a lot of medication. You still try to do things around the house. How do you have or find the energy and joy to be a companion? Try staying positive so it doesn't bring your companion down when you don't feel well. And how do you try to compromise to enjoy things that your companions like to do, like shopping, but you just don't have the stamina? So I'm sure that this is a situation for a lot of people these days as you get older, and depending on what type of ailments you're talking about. If it's just being physically tired and you don't have any sicknesses that the doctors have found or that you know about, and you just don't have the energy, sometimes that can be fixed. It just depends on how eager and how motivated you are to get better. And don't get me wrong, I am not saying that everybody is in a position to get better. I don't know this lady's situation specifically. Sounds like she's on a lot of medications, and it starts with just getting out and walking a little bit every day, eating better, just moving. And whether or not this woman has tried this or not, I don't know. But if this is the situation that you're in and you just don't have the energy to get out and meet new people, then you've got to start from where you are and work on getting better. One of the things that has helped me a lot is I've totally changed my eating. And a lot of people don't know this. I didn't know this beforehand, but every time that you eat bread or eat anything with sugar in it, your insulin spikes. I'm not a medical doctor, and I'm just talking from my experience, but your insulin spikes. And when that happens, your body gets attached to fat. The fat doesn't go away, the fat hangs on. And a lot of times the energy is low because either we've gotten too heavy or we're just not eating food that gives us energy. Now, sugar and bread, they'll give you energy to start, but once that wears off, and it goes through your body really quickly, once that wears off, then that's when the low hits, and we're feeling tired, and don't have the energy to do anything, and feel like we need a nap. That's why a lot of people in the afternoon, after eating lunch, we pick the wrong type of foods to eat, and right around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, we're ready for a nap. And there's nothing wrong with a nap, but when you feel like your body's just kind of hit a wall, it's usually because you've eaten something that is, got too many carbs, too much sugar in it. And so I totally changed my way of eating in a couple ways. I totally cut back on the sugar. I do make my own bread, and I try to limit it as much as I can. I love fresh bread. But I try to limit it so that it doesn't affect my blood sugar. We have way too many people in right now who are dealing with diabetes. And unless you were, it was something that you were born with or something in your system, usually we create it by having a bad eating lifestyle, eating the wrong foods. And when you eat the wrong foods on a consistent basis, then your body becomes what they call insulin resistant. And that is when you're just you become pre-diabetic. And the only way that you can change that is to change how you eat and what you eat, what you put in your body. Our bodies were made perfectly, and our bodies were made to be able to repair themselves if we feed it right. And it's something that I've known for a long time. I've always kind of been, somewhat physical and out and active, but it wasn't until just recently that I started to see a lot of information on how sugar and flour and all of the carby type things can affect your blood sugar, which then in turn affects your health. And your energy becomes low because your body becomes insulin resistant, and you have to, and how many people do you know who are having to do insulin shots? Because your body needs the insulin, But if your body becomes insulin resistant, somehow that insulin has to be put in. So I don't, like I said, I'm not a medical doctor, but at all. I don't have that kind of a background, but what I do know is how I feel when I eat sugar and starchy type foods. So I try to stick as much as I can to whole foods, your foods that if you go to the grocery store and you're looking at something, if you can't go home and you can't cook it the way that it is, or you see something in a box that you can't make on your own without having to buy the box, then usually you've got something that's got way too many preservatives in it. What are preservatives doing in our body once they get in? It messes up our digestive systems. Our systems don't work the way that they should, and then you've got more problems than what you had before. So you want to make sure that you're trying to eat whole foods, foods that are in their original form, and even those nowadays, because we've got our animals are fed differently, our vegetables and our fruits are grown and products put on them to make them last longer. The one thing that I noticed, buying when we were buying store-bought bread, you can have it out on the counter and it'll last you for a week or more, sometimes two. And that's due to the preservatives that are in them. If you bake your own bread, make your own cookies, that type of thing, you notice they don't last very long. If you don't eat them, they go bad pretty quickly. And that's because you're not adding any preservatives in your bread and in your baked goods. And so those are better for you. They still have the sugar in them that you probably shouldn't eat too much of. But it's just like keeping everything in moderation. And then the other thing that I've done, and I feel like I've done this for years, and that's get out and move every day. And so every morning we get up and go for about a 2.5 mile walk and get back to the house. And you don't have to do a 2.5 mile, even just getting out and walking around the block is a good start. I have friends that I graduated from high school with who, they talk about that they want to get more active and they want to get healthier, but it takes energy to get out and make those first steps. Now, let's go past the making the changes part, because it takes energy to do that. But just in answer to her other part of her question is, how do I how do I be fair to a companion if the companion wants to go do things and I can't do them? And there are people that are out there that are in the same situation as you are. You just have to know how to find them. And one of the ways to do that is to go to your community centers and do water aerobics classes, or just go to the community center that I played pickleball at. There are people that are there every morning. There are vans that will pick you up to take you there. And by vans, it's access vans in the area that I live in. But I think everybody's got transportation or someone that can pick up seniors to get them to events and places. And so there are these vans that show up when I'm getting there, they're dropping off people and they're coming to play chess, or they're coming to a knitting group, or they're, an arts and crafts thing that's going on at the community center. And both men and women are involved in these, and you meet people who are somewhat in the same boat as you are. They're wanting to get out, but they can't be as active as they'd like to be. And this is where you're going to meet the people who are in the same situation as you are. So that's something to think about. And if you want to be healthier, just take it step by step. There are so many different channels on YouTube that talk about ways to feel better as a senior, ways to help lower your blood pressure, ways to help with, strengthening your heart, all different types of things. And they're all done by medical doctors. And I love watching and seeing what's new, what's things that I don't know already. Always trying to learn something new about health and about being more active. And I choose to live as long of a life as I can. And I've been fortunate to have met David, who looks at things the same way that I do. And once he retired from his work, we have been able to, be active, together, get out and walk. We also do bike riding. I have an electric bike, but I always pedal, and he's a avid bike rider. But to think of dating at this age as finding a companion that has similar likes and dislikes and similar activity level as you do. And this woman that I read the comment for, there are men out there in the same situation as she's in, and their evenings or their way of what they're looking for in a companion is someone that they can watch TV with at night. It's not active, but it's something you can do together. Someone who likes to go out to restaurants, someone who likes to do short walks around the block, somebody whose activity level is just like yours. And so there's always someone that matches what you're looking for, and you can also help each other. I'm David and I motivate each other every morning. If it weren't for him, I'd probably not be out walking every morning. It's nice to have somebody to do those things with, and it can motivate you to do better and to do more things than you normally would do. But you have to either find them online or go to community centers or places where you'll meet people just like you. Now, one thing that just came to my mind as I was talking is I've gone on a number of cruises, and if you've been on cruises, you'll notice that there are a lot of people who don't get around well, who are either on scooters or in wheelchairs or whatever, but cruising is their lifeline. They love doing cruises because cruises or cruise ships are made to be able to use the elevators to get up and down to the different floors, and everything is flat inside. So, I mean, except for, you've got to go on the elevator to get to your rooms or down to the different activities. But that's I met when we were on our last cruise, which was a cruise to Alaska. We met a gentleman who has gone on cruises for the last 20 years. His wife passed away 2 years ago, and he's continued to go on cruises by himself. So there are single people out there, older. He was, I would say, I didn't ask him how old he was, but I would say he was probably in his late 70s, early 80s. And, there are people younger than him too who, they used to do things with their spouse, and their spouse is no longer alive, and they still continue to go and do the things that they enjoy. And so you're going to find people out and about in those places as well. And if you don't have the money to go on a cruise, then, maybe the community center would be your best bet. So I know I probably didn't answer all of the question that she asked, but mainly try to be healthier if you're not, and movement will help you feel better. Eating well will help you feel better, and just look to find a companion who is a lot like you are, and you can help to live out the rest of your life with someone who is, that you can enjoy doing things with, that's at the same level as you are. So thank you for joining me today, and I hope you got something out of this video, and please share this video with anybody that you think might be interested in hearing what we've talked about today. And be sure to like and subscribe so you know when the next video is coming out, and I'll see you in the next video.